Alright guys, in today's video we are going over the 5 most useful soccer skills to use in a match. That's coming up next. Speaking of training, check out the new training goals from Rocket Sports who are sponsoring this video. These goals are perfect for your own individual training, for team trainings. If you need to pop them up in a place where there are no goals, I'm 6'3", so you know how big they are. And like I said, perfect for your own individual training. In this field where I was at, I didn't have any goals. And what's perfect about these goals too is they just take a few minutes to tear apart and put up, so you don't have to worry about long assembly time. It's super easy to do, comes in its own carrying case. Anyway, let's get into the video. Alright guys, this first move is the Coif Turn. It's one of my favorite and I think one of the most effective moves in the game. You can see it all the way working from the youth level all the way up to the professional level. So I'm going to break it down, show you some faster examples. Let's go. So this move can be used in a variety of different situations. I found the most key situations to use this in is when you are faking a shot, a cross, or some other movement where you're going to fake like you're going to play the ball off to someone, shoot it, or cross it. And so the idea behind this move is to set up like you're going to do exactly that. Cruyff's famous clip where he does this turn. He fakes a cross and he puts the ball out wide to make it look like he's going to whip the ball in, and then actually does the movement but brings it back out the other side. So he comes, looks like he's going to cross, and then he's out the other way. This move I have found works in every level, in various different scenarios. You can also pull a little quick one where you go like this, one direction and the next. That also works a lot. And in fact, that's one of my favorite ways to do this. Quickly push it out and then come back the other way. So this, out of all these moves, is probably the one I would start with. Next, guys, is the more attacking step over. Now, there are many different step over variations, and a lot of times this little move here is called the step over, but I consider that more of a defensive move to get someone off your back. In this one, I want to go over the more attack-minded step over. It's also called the scissors, where you're going to step over the ball, lean in one direction, and then come out the other way. This move works on 2 levels, on the speed in which you do the step and how much you can lean and make the defender think you're going in that direction. Now, you can definitely beat a flat-footed defender with just speed on a step over without that lean, but it's not as effective. And a defender that's paying attention is going to read you. So when you're doing this, you want to be able to also lean quickly in that direction. And not only does the speed throw off the defender, but that little lean makes it look like you're going to take the ball in that direction, causing them to take that little shift in body weight in that direction as well. And then you can go out the other way. There are many variations to this move. This move can be used a lot in combinations. Once you get good at this move, you can actually mix it with a lot of other moves. But the standalone step over, just facing someone up, performing the move, and going out the other way is so effective, used by some of the best players in the world. Third move we're going over is another really simple but effective one used by arguably the best player of all time, and it's the body feint. And there's something magical about just a quick shift and lean in your body that really throws off defenders. Now, the key thing with this is to really sell it like you're going to move in that direction. If again you just step here and your body's like this, you're not really going to fake anyone. You need to really step and make that lean. Now, this lean can be quick, or it could be a more drawn out one. I've seen both work. But the lean is essential here, and of course the speed is going to be as well. So you approach your man. This can also be done at a standstill, and you can do many different body feints. This can be done at a standstill or on the run, and I love it on the run because you can do just a quick drop of the shoulder and then go out the other way. So you would come up, you could do a quick drop of the shoulder, and then go out the other way. A super effective move. It also allows you to keep the ball close to your body, which is why I think it's one of Messi's favorite moves. All right, guys, this next one is also fantastic, but it's a little different from the ones I've given you because this is more of a reactionary move. This is one you're going to use when a defender comes in at you and tries to get the ball, and it's called La Croqueta, where you're going to bring the ball from one side and come out the other way. Now, you're usually going to do this when someone dives in, and you can watch Iniesta do this perfectly when he was at Barcelona. You come in, defender dives in, and you bring the ball out the other way. And this is why I call it a reactionary move. This move doesn't really work if you face up the defender, they don't go in for the ball, and you try and pull it, because by the time you're here, they're going to read what you're doing and be able to stop you. So make sure you know what situations to use this move in. Not when the defender is facing you up and containing you, but have it in your repertoire for when they lunge in to try and get the ball, and then you can just take it past them very quickly. Another thing that's key with this move besides timing is obviously doing it very fast. It should be something you can do within a split second, getting it from one foot to the other. Because obviously if you go slow, even if they lunge in, they can get their body between you, they can push you off the ball or potentially get a tackle in if you're going like this. So practice it slow at first, and then once you get better, make sure you're going a bit faster. Final one I want to leave you guys with is actually a collection of moves in a sense. It's not one move in and of itself, but it's cuts and chops. And again, if you look at some of the best players in the world like Messi, he does this all the time where he just uses little cuts and chops to beat players, especially as they dive in. Quick chops and cuts where a defender doesn't expect it, and you can cut and chop in different directions, especially if you're running at speed and can get them to slow down. That is going to work the majority of the time, as long as you don't telegraph it. Just remember, you don't always need a fancy move. A simple change in direction with a cut can sometimes be enough. A simple change in direction, like a chop, can sometimes be all you need to beat the defender. And so, before you move on to maybe some of these other ones, I really get good at being able to chop it in different ways. The Coif is actually another version of a chop, but get good at being able to cut it, being able to quickly change the ball from one side of your body to the other, take it away from the defender if you're running, and being able to cut it back the other way very quickly. And if you can also time these well, like you do with the La Croqueta, you're gonna find you beat a lot of players this way. All right, guys, those are 5 very useful skills you can actually use in your matches. Now, what's cool about these skills before I let you go is they can actually be done in combination once you get good at multiple ones. For example, I like to have the Coif kind of always on deck, just in case I get in a tight spot. Maybe I perform a little step over, it's red, I always have the Coif to fall back on. Sometimes I might do a cut and not see that a man's there, and I can quickly La Croqueta away from him. So once you have mastered these moves, you will then be able to use them in different variations and combinations without even thinking. And that's the level we want to get you to be able to do these through instinct and not have to think on the field about which one you have to do. You'll know exactly the situation to do a step over, to do a Coif, to cut it back the other way. And the way you get good at that is practicing them, trying them in your training, but you first need to get them down into your muscle memory so that you're not having to think, oh, how do I do the cut again? How do I do the Coif again? You want to do it so many times that it's just second nature for you to do these moves. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. All of these skill moves are easy ones, simple ones, effective ones that you can use in your matches. These aren't necessarily the most fancy. They're not necessarily the ones that are going to get the people out of the crowd to go, ooh, but they're the ones that'll work. So get working on them. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.